Hello everyone, this is Miroslava. I am the Metaphysical chick, and today I wanted to try something different, have more of a conversation instead of bringing messages, or maybe there will be messages here, but I just wanted to give my perspective on the virus and on the shot, the jab, the thing that they're putting in us. I know this is going to be very controversial, but everything that I am sharing here is simply my perspective. I have no facts, I have zero facts. I am not a doctor. I am not telling you how you should live your life. I am simply sharing my experience and what I feel, what I believe. So, yeah, let's dive in. So where do we even start, right? Let's go back to the beginning. As soon as I heard about the virus, and as soon as I heard and saw all the chaos that was taking place in the world, I knew that this was simply an attempt for manipulation, because everything that we were seeing in the news, in the media, was so fear-based, and that's what they do. That's how they manipulate the masses, is by spreading news that are all fear-based, because we are easier to control when we are afraid. Because if we are at peace with ourselves, if we are conscious of our reality, and we know that we are creators, that nothing can be created without our consent, if we know this, then they have nothing to do. Yeah, as soon as I saw what was taking place, I started to receive messages from Spirit and from my own higher self, from the Galactics, that this was indeed another attempt for manipulating people. A lot of star seeds, a lot of the people that are here on a mission to awaken the masses, we're doing a very good job. So we were doing a great job sharing information and showing up and speaking up, and then it was like, bam! They had to do something to shut us up. But honestly, I feel that this is only intensifying the efforts of starseeds to share, to keep speaking up, and to not give in to the fear narratives. So in my experience, I had the virus. I had it for I didn't get tested because I didn't want anything up my nose. I protect and I honor my body, and I wasn't going to allow anything to interfere, because I trusted my body, and I know that my body is capable of healing. I am a very healthy person. I live a very healthy lifestyle. Probably not as healthy as I should, but I am still very healthy. So I didn't have any, I wasn't worried about dying from the virus, but there are people dying. It's definitely happening. Yeah, so I had the virus, and it lasted for about a month, honestly. And at the time, it felt like the flu. It really did. I've had worse colds, honestly. And I was very exhausted. I was nasal congestion, and a little bit of my chest was hurting, but I wasn't really coughing a lot, so that's not a symptom that I experienced. But when we go back to the root of the energy, what this felt like was Ascension Symptoms. And again, this is only my experience, so don't take this if it doesn't resonate with you.
Again, I have no facts. I am not a doctor. I am simply sharing what I feel and what I believe. So again, another warning, another trigger warning here.
The virus felt like, to me, was like Ascension Symptoms, and it felt like the body was having a hard time integrating energy. And I feel like this could possibly be what is taking place at a mass scale. I am a person that believes in the quantum field, and I believe that every potential and every timeline is real. And so I do believe that one of the timelines that is floating around here that we can tap into and access and align to at a frequency level is the timeline in which the virus is a cellular upgrade, a DNA upgrade. And this is only my experience again, but what I experienced after my body recovered from the virus, my psychic abilities heightened. My throat chakra is still having a massive activation. I did lose my sense of smell and taste, but soon after, I recovered, the quarantine period passed, I was able to, whenever I would feel people or connect to people, and this is something that is still happening, whenever I would feel a specific energy, I would get a smell with the energy. And again, I did lose my sense of smell, but I feel at the same time that this was an upgrade that I was going through. And so again, I believe in the quantum field, and that's the reality that I choose to believe for myself. So I am not telling you that this is the reality for you. This is what I choose to believe myself. Whenever I, feel angels, or I feel the galactics, or I feel something, a smell comes with that energy, and that's something that I never experienced before. So that was incredible. And also, my throat chakra, I am still going through a lot of upgrades, and what I have experienced along with the virus is allergies. So allergies are something that I have been experiencing all year, and again, like, this is just, our body is really having a hard time integrating all of the energies. And if you have done the work, you are accessing a lot more high frequencies, and so your body is really having a hard time because it's not used to that. It's not used to such high levels of energy, high frequency energy. It's been very dense for such a long ass time. And so now that we are elevating our frequency and we are becoming more, or embodying more of a light body, we are leaving behind the carbon-based DNA, the carbon-based structure of our bodies to become more light. And it's a process, and it's gonna take years. And I do feel, it is a message that I just received, and I feel that this is the Galactic Federation showing up, is that there will be more viruses, and thank you. There are different timelines, and there are different potentials. All of these potentials hold a specific or a different frequency. So you can see the virus as targeting people to get to for depopulation, because that's one of the intentions behind all of this chaos that is taking place in the world. But at the same time, there is a timeline, there is a potential that holds a different frequency. And that frequency is that the viruses that are showing up are here to upgrade the DNA within people, to help people adjust to higher levels of consciousness, to higher levels of, or higher frequencies, higher vibrational frequencies. So, and I recently heard in a podcast that I was listening to by Bridget Nielsen, I believe, with Drew, and that's an amazing podcast. And what they were saying is that our body is a walking virus because of our gut. There's a lot of bacteria in us, so we are literally a virus. And so, yeah, it is an upgrade. Like, I do see it as an upgrade. And again, this is simply my perspective, but I went, and I do believe that a lot of people are having a hard time because of the fear that they are connecting, or that they are attaching to the virus. And so it's not really about how really bad the virus is, but our fear is what feeds those timelines in which the virus is something that is more evil or demonic, or bad. And it doesn't have to be like that, because we are creators. And so if you want to align to a timeline in which the virus is a DNA upgrade, then shift your frequency and shift your belief system, and then you will be able to tap more into those realities and the future potentials that come with this present timeline. And there are, conspiracies that say that, and I believe this, that the virus was actually created in a lab. And again, I have no facts. So do your research if you want to, dive deeper into this. But I believe that this was a man-made created virus, and that it was the intention initially was, to hurt people. I mean, why else would you create a virus, right? So, yeah, I do believe that. But again, I do feel and I do know that there are multiple potentials and there are multiple timelines that carry a specific frequency. So I feel that I have personally aligned with the timeline in which the virus is actually a DNA upgrade. And what we are experiencing are ascension symptoms. And some of us, do experience very harsh ascension symptoms. I mean, I've experienced ascension symptoms for years, especially at the beginning of my spiritual awakening. It was horrible. I thought I was dying. I literally thought I was dying. But it's just the body adjusting and just achieving higher levels of consciousness and just tapping into higher frequencies. Okay, so now about the shot. So what do I believe about it? I do believe that people, or that the people in power, are kind of wanting to stop humanity from ascending or from awakening, and that's a way in which they can control this DNA upgrade. And it's I sound like a fucking conspiracy theorist right now, right? Because I have no facts. I am simply sharing what I feel and what I have personally experienced. But it's so amazing, it's so fascinating. And I do feel that speaking and sharing what we believe is very helpful, because it allows other people to see that, hey, it is safe and you can share your perspective as well. So again, this is only my perspective. I've said this so many times, and yeah, I keep it as that, just my perspective, no facts. I am not a doctor. Don't take what I say and follow that blindly. Like, do your research and tap into your heart and see what you feel. Just what do you feel? What do you feel? How everything is like in feminism, my body, my choice. And I believe that, my body, my choice. And so what's up with this? Like, it's my body, but it's not my choice now of what I get to do with my body. So it's, and just a blaming game, and how they are pointing fingers at the people that are not taking the shot. And I do believe that especially if you have gotten the shot, then you are safe. So why worry about other people? Just let people live their lives the way that they want to live it. And I really believe that now, because I have personally done so much healing and I have detached in such a massive way from humanity, or from the co-creation of humanity, this reality, I am not afraid of catching a virus, because I believe in my body, I trust my body, and I know that I am able to heal. My body is able to heal. And so I do think that it's, we are giving our power away, and we are giving our power away to fear, because we don't believe in ourselves. So now, about the people that have passed away, I do know that we are here for a specific period of time, and when the time comes, we exit the planet. And I do believe that the people that have passed away from the virus, that was the intention upon coming to this planet. We all make the decision when we come into this realm. We sign a contract. We we figure out, okay, I'm gonna be with this family, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and this is how I'm gonna die, because this is how my soul is going to learn. This is how I will exit the karmic cycle. This is how I am going to do what I am supposed to do as a human. And that's, we make a choice. And I do feel that even though it sucks that we have to lose people, and not just with the virus, but with other like the 9/11 and all of those wars, and we lose people, and that fucking sucks. But I do believe that we are here for a reason, and once we fulfill that reason, we leave, we exit the planet, and they're in a much better place now. Energetically speaking, how do we beat the virus, by taking our power back. I stop being afraid of narratives that are being spread by the news media. That's it. Everything that we hear in the news is simply a projection of an individual's belief system. There is a person behind all the little people that we see on the TV screen. There is a person or a group of people that make decisions, that choose what they share with us, and the intention behind what they share, because we don't see a lot of good news in the media. We don't see inspirational content. We don't see people, doing all of these amazing things, because that doesn't sell. There's a group of people always choosing what they share. They are putting people against each other. This is very cheesy, but together we stand, divided we fall. And they don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about us. They really don't. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about what your family is going through, about your family, you being unemployed and you having a hard time, keeping up with paying the bills, or your family, your children being sick. They don't give a shit about that. They don't give a shit. Why keep giving them what they want, which is our attention? Our attention. And this is all because in order for a reality to be created, we have to give our consent. And a lot of the times it's not like, yes, I want that, I want to be sick, I want to die. No, it's not like that. You are energetically consenting to the reality that they are choosing for us by simply watching and by accepting what they say as the truth. That's it. Now, I want to share something that the Indigenous collective mind and the Galactic Federation shared with me regarding us co-creating the reality that we are experiencing with the government or with power structures. And if you want to know more about the Indigenous collective mind, I'll leave a link to a video that I created so you can tap in and understand more what this energy is. So I asked the Indigenous collective mind. Now this is about disclosure, but the answer that they gave me, I think, is very much in alignment with what we are talking about today. So I said, now how do you feel about the intention of this disclosure movement? How do you feel about the government's approach? Do you think it's good? And they immediately started laughing and they said, the government. These power structures think they are in control, but the only ones in control are the people. You cannot keep truth from surfacing. Yes, there will be manipulation, but you have the power to remove the fear from those beliefs. You all have the power to shift the vibration of their intention to one that matches your intention. And then after that, the Galactic Federation showed up and they said, yes, this is accurate. You have the power to shift the vibration. And when you shift the vibration, you shift the reality they are counting on you to create. You are always co-creating with these power structures. Without you, they are unable to do anything. They need you. The way disclosure unfolds is solely dependent on you. What do you believe? What do you feel? What will you do? I think that pretty much sums everything up. The reality that we experience is a co-creation, and so if you want to experience the reality that the government or that power structures, that greedy people are creating for us, that keep consenting, keep believing that that is the reality that humanity must experience, and keep giving into the fear and keep believing that. But if you want to experience a new earth, like a more high vibe place, then shift your belief system and shift your perspective of this experience, of this reality. Take your power back by saying, no, I am going to live my life the way that I want to live it. And here's the thing, ego. Don't do this following your ego, following the mind, follow your feeling. because we are not here to be rebels without a cause. We are here, yes, to be rebellious and to speak up, to share our truth, to speak our perspective. But we are doing this with compassion, with peace. We are not doing things the way that the people in power are doing them. We are doing them in our way, in our own unique ways. And we are being creative with our beliefs, and we are sharing truth via artwork, via videos and music. But we are being compassionate. We are holding the frequency of peace, because we are not here to create war. We are here to remind people what peaceful action is. And I'm very passionate about freedom and about expressing what we are, but I always, kind of like to keep it lighthearted. And I'm like, you believe whatever you want to believe, but this is my belief, this is my perspective, and if you resonate with it, well, let's do this, let's do our thing. But yeah, I think it's very important for us to remember that, we are the ones that have the power. It is the people that have the power. We have the power. Just need to remember that. Just asking you to tap into what you feel, and not what you think, but what you truly feel. So if you have experienced the virus yourself, or if you experience that in the future, tap into the feeling and remove the fear. And once you remove the fear, all that remains is the truth. And what is that truth telling you? What is that feeling telling you? When I was in that space, when I was sick and I was, just lying down and resting, I was asked to rest and to feel, to calm down, because my body was going through a shift. And so, this is only my belief again, but, I feel that this is a very much empowering timeline and not such a fear-based narrative. So I am all about, removing the fear from my experience, and this is how I was able to remove the fear from this one. And I find it so fascinating that the virus showed up where so many people were starting to wake up. I was starting to see so many people just on social media stepping more into their power and sharing more of their gifts. And this also was happening when astrologically there was so much going on. This was more of a test for humanity, yet there are so many layers. There are so many layers. The first layer, of course, is what we see is this physical reality, what materializes. But beneath this layer are so many more layers that are more energetic. And I do feel that there is a layer in which everything is so aligned, and everything in this layer is of pure intent. And so I do feel that there was manipulation, and that, the forces here, people in power, they tried to do their thing, and they tried to, manipulate, like that's what they do. But I do believe that there is something here for us. It's not all bad. It's not bad. But, it's just the way we see it. It's just about the way we see things. It's our perspective that shapes, that dictates the reality that we experience. So yeah, it is so fascinating just the way everything unfolded. And then, it started right when we were gonna have an election, and, people were trying to get rid of a president. And it's like, ask questions. Just ask questions. Don't accept everything that you see so blindly, because what we see is an illusion. It is a projection of belief systems of people, of others that are, have their own ego and have their own experiences and have their own perspective. So take your power back and start seeing things for yourself. Start doing research. Start, making up your own mind. It's so fascinating. Like, I am so I am so happy to be here at this time because, and I know this is not something to be laughing about because it's very serious, what's taking place in the world, but at the same time, it's like, fuck. Fuck. Are we really doing this? Like, shit. And it could be so easy by us just simply shifting our perspective and knowing that this reality is simply one of many, and that there are so many, not just timelines and potentials, but there are so many lifetimes and parallel universes, multiverse. There is a fucking multiverse. Like, this reality is simply one, and it's so tiny, and there is so much more for us to experience. So it's just fascinating. It's so fascinating. I mean, there's no shame if people, like, believe and buy the narrative that we are being fed or get the shot. There's no shame. That is your experience and you have a choice. So whatever you believe, go with that and flow with that, because on the other side of the coin, I do believe that our bodies have the power. If there is actually indeed something in the shot, our body has the power to counteract or to fight whatever is in there. So if you get the shot believing that there's something that is going to cause some sort of, something reaction within your body, then it may, because you believe it will. But if you open yourself up and you get the shot and you believe that there is healing power within you and that nothing can harm you, then nothing will harm you, because that is your belief, and belief is what creates our experience. It is belief, it is the energy, the emotion attached to that belief. So again, whatever you choose to believe, make sure that it's not based on fear, that the root of that belief is not fear. Otherwise, you are just being a slave to other people's projections. Honor yourself, honor other people, and speak with compassion. Always speak with compassion. Be kind to other people. Whatever they choose to believe, be kind to them. If you don't have anything nice to say, then why say it? Why say it? I mean, I'm just saying, right? But again, you have a right to speak, and so I guess say it. Whatever. I am the Metaphysical Chick, and I do offer services. So if you would like to work with me one-on-one, I have sessions, have personal light language transmissions that are 10 to 15 minute videos. I share the video and I also send you an MP3 file so you can listen to the transmission anytime you wish. I also create quantum crystal jewelry, so if you are into crystals, I will leave the information in the description box. You can follow me in social media, TikTok, Instagram at the Metaphysical Chick. I'm also on Facebook at Miroslava Casiano. Yeah, I don't have the Metaphysical Chick there. And yeah, so that's all I have for you today. Again, this is only my perspective. It's only my experience, what I believe, what I feel. Yeah, so we'll see you next time.